What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you from Site B on another gloomy July day. And I guess we got to start this one with the news. Our beloved Prince of Darkness has closed his eyes for one last time. There are the ravens flying away. Ozzy Osborne has left the building. He passed away just recently. Prince of Rock, the Prince of Darkness, the Evil One, the Corrupter of Souls, Iron Man, Crazy Train, Mama, I'm Coming Home, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osborne, gone, dead, in the grave, on his way to sit in hell, probably. I'm sure Ozzy would not want us to be mourning his parting, but celebrating his amazing run and his amazing life and his amazing contribution to heavy metal. Black Sabbath was such a part of my childhood. You know, they were just part of LA rock and roll culture. You know, I went to school with Mandy Moon, Keith Moon's daughter. Ronnie James Dio lived down the street with me. Heavy metal and black metal and whatever Black Sabbath was just part of my childhood. So I think Ozzy would want us not to be sad, but be partying and talking about good things. So we're going to talk about tabletop role-playing game instead, because that's all I know how to talk about. So I checked the controversy bingo for this week, and we've got Session Zeros up again. Oh, no, really? We've got AI art up again. Oh, no, really? And we've got a new one. A new contestant for Controversy of the Week. Battlefield Control. Spells like Paralysis and Sleep and Fog Cloud and spells that let players or bad guys control the field. And apparently, there are certain members of the tabletop role-playing game community who find these spells and these abilities unfair. How dare you? I mean, it's okay if I, the player character, can have these spells and abilities, but it's not fair if the bad guys have these spells and abilities. So, which one should we address first? AI art, Session Zero, or the new one? Well, we've done AI art. We've done Session Zero. We've never done this one, so this is a new one. So, yeah. Why are we angry at Battlefield Control all of a sudden? Well, probably somebody lost a character because an NPC cast sleep spell or hold person. So now it's unfair that the bad guys can do that. We don't want monsters that have paralysis venom. We don't want to be in a situation where we can't control our character even for a moment. So maybe we haven't done this one. Maybe this is just another part of the whole player agency, you know, everything about the game is unfair to the player now thing. Is that just another aspect? Did I miss the turn off? We actually have a goal for why we're walking down this street, as opposed to the normal way we go. Apparently, the Halloween stuff is out. The big box stores have already opened up their Halloween. I've seen pictures of displays at Home Depot, Costco. So it's time to start walking around to see if there's any decorations up yet, if anybody's jumping early. Trust me, if I had a yard, my decorations would be up all year. So that's why I went this way, because there's more homes this way. And I hardly ever go this way. So yeah, we're just walking around to see Halloween decorations. So yeah, Battlefield Control, player agency. Blah, 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 pull back the layers, pull back the layers, pull back the layers. I was not able to control my character for whatever because of insert Battlefield Control here. Sleep, paralysis, hold person, fog cloud, web, whatever. Any of the abilities that allow you to control the battlefield or take out a character. This could also be monsters' innate abilities like spiders with webs or any monster that has venom or spellcaster monsters who use sleep spells and fog clouds and stuff like that. Well, that's unfair. You can't have that because that takes away my agency. That places me in a position where I have lost control of my character And if I have lost control of my character, that increases the chances of my character dying. Because I wasn't there to do what I would have done, hence because I was asleep. And so, blah, whine. I mean, really, come on, guys. Would you rather have your character fall asleep for D4 rounds, or have a telephone pole shot through your chest by a bad guy behind a trebuchet, and you're going to die in 1D4 rounds? At least if you're asleep, there's a chance you make it out alive. Trust me, I'd much rather be held than dead. I couldn't do anything with my character. Fine. How about using the reverse of my usual story? Okay, so my usual is, if you can have it, I can have it. So how about we just reverse that? If I can't have it, you can't have it. That seems fair, right? If my bad guys can't use sleep, nothing on these streets. Maybe one more? I know there's a street around here that has that giant skeleton on it. I thought it was this one, but maybe it's one more. If my bad guys can't cast sleep on you, if my bad guys can't use paralysis on you, if my snakes can't have venom, my spiders can't have webs, my kobold casters can't use, fog cloud, fine, neither can you. All battlefield control spells are removed from the game. All battlefield control abilities are removed from the game. No sleep spell, no fog spells, no wall of stone spells, no anything that might not allow your character to have complete autonomy at any point in time, right? If I can't have it, you can't have it. If you can have sleep spell, I can have sleep spell. If you can have paralysis, I can have paralysis. If I can't have it, then neither can you. That seems fair to me. Is this the street? Could have sworn there was a Halloween decoration on one of these streets, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's the next one over. We'll go one more. So yeah, that's basically the complaint. It's a stupid complaint. It's been ingrained in the hobby for as long as the hobby has existed. It's basically lose a turn in a board game or whatever. And the whole reason abilities like paralysis and sleep were even entered in the game, Gygax's infamous wandering traps were entered in the game, was so the game wasn't so deadly. I don't always have to just cut your head off. I can put you to sleep instead of and if I put you to sleep and you survive the combat, is that a snake? You live to fight a day, and maybe you're not as angry as me. I mean, I didn't kill you, I didn't take your stuff, all the things you would have done to me. I just put you to sleep so I could run away. That seems fair. Is this the street with the skeleton? Yeah, it is. Alright, so I know these guys have got Halloween up. Let's see if anybody else has Halloween up. There's a whole reason those type of spells were put in. There's a whole type of reason why battlefield control was put in the first place, was wandering traps and to give DM options so they didn't have to always kill you. Okay, not decorated yet, but definitely have the skeleton up. Thank you for keeping your skeleton up. Look forward to seeing how else you're going to decorate. I mean, I can understand keeping it up all year because they're just so huge. Why would you want to take it down just to put it up later? And really, at this point, why take the Halloween down at all? The store should just keep moving the Halloween stuff around instead of taking it down, because it's their major source of income at most times. So yeah. So there's no reason to be upset about battlefield control, or those fairy garden temporary moments when you don't have complete control of your character. Because would you rather be dead? They're literally in the game to make the game a little safer. I suppose you people will not be happy until basically the entire game is you go out, hit a bop-em, an inflatable tube, knock the tube over, the tube comes back up, you level and get stuff. Oh no, wait, that might be too dangerous because the tube might come up and hit you in the face, and you might got upset that your character got hit in the face by an inflatable gorilla or whatever. So why don't we just skip that? Why don't we just have no dice rolling and no threat in the game whatsoever? Then maybe you'll be happy, huh? How about we just, okay, make your character? It doesn't matter. Just give your character whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Great, you're done with your character. You've given your stuff every month. Great, you level. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks have passed. We're playing. You level. Talk to you in 2 weeks. Yeah, that would just be the game. Just you level. The game would just be called you level. You wouldn't have to show up. You wouldn't have to invest any energy. I wouldn't have to design any encounters because you would just complain about the encounters being unsafe. So I'm just switching it to you level. All right. Now, you could complain about that too. You could still feel like, oh, I don't get enough agency because I'm not doing anything with my character. I want to do all the thing with my characters. But I don't want any threats to my characters, which I guess is maybe what you want. You want to be able to live out your character's power fantasies of going to and working at Starbucks and having your comfy, cozy, safe environments without any actual threat. So you still want to gather, I guess. You still want to be able to tell your little stories about that day you all sat around in Starbucks and complimented each other on your hairdos and gossip. But that doesn't really sound like the game. It just sounds like what we could just do sitting around getting in coffee and just doing what we would have done in normal life anyway. So how about we just skip the game? We just get together for coffee or donuts or whatever every other week and do, the gossiping and the non-violent situations that won't jeopardize your character. But you see, you're still going to complain because you're going to complain because one person at the table is getting more attention than you maybe for 5 minutes. And God forbid, that seems unfair. I mean, sure, we've eliminated all the threat, but there's still favoritism. How dare I, we talked to Susan for 5 seconds longer than we talked to you, Steve. Or we give Veruca a birthday cake on her birthday, but we didn't give you a birthday cake because it's not your birthday. Well, that would feel unfair, right? So we can't do that. We can't. All right. So we've moved the game. We've removed all threats from the game. We've removed anything that could possibly take away any aspect of your advocacy. But we still have the social, because that's what you want. You want a comfy social get together where you can sit around and talk and gossip and play your little half fox, half refrigerator character. But you don't want anybody else to get more attention than you, right? Because that's not fair. And the game can't be unfair. The game has to be fair, but mostly it has to be fair for you. Basically, you want the most attention. You want the most power. This is basically your power trip, right? So you really don't want the social interaction, because social interaction means there might be a second where you're not the favorite, where you're not completely in control, where you're not the center of attention, where you're not getting everything you want with no risk. So yeah, what we should really just do is do one-on-one. You just call me or text me and tell me what you want, and I agree to it, and then you level, and then you get it to fill out all the check marks on your I need to feel special board, Veruca. You get to play your half fox, half refrigerator and have all your little romances and get whatever it is you want out of the game, but without there actually being any implied threat or implied favoritism. And your character leveled, and you get all the MacGuffins and useless magic items you want. I'm just going to give them to you because we can't have any threats, so we're just going to have magic items without any encounters. And maybe that'll satisfy you for 2 weeks. But no, wait. 2 weeks is too long. You can't go 2 weeks without being the center of attention, so we'll have to make it a week. Every week you can text me or call me, and we can do this half an hour affirmative thing for you, where I basically tell you how great your character is, and then you level and get some stuff, right? But oh no, wait, that's still not frequent enough. You want me to tell you how special you are every day, right? Is that what you want? See, Because that's how ridiculous your argument about these things sound. You want all the reward without any of the risk. You want all the prizes without any motivation to go get the prizes. You want your characters sitting around by themselves earning everything with no risk. Which probably cycles into the session 0 thing. I don't see any Halloween decorations here. These guys usually start pretty early. It could be too early. I mean, yeah, the stuff's on display already at Costco and Home Depot and stuff, but we might be waiting for the first official 3-day weekend in September to start decorating. I don't know. So have I resolved the situation in this 15 minutes? Right? You want all the advocacy without any of the risk. You want all the reward and all the attention, but you don't want to have to do anything to earn it. You just want to sit around and waddle like a penguin while you live out your power fantasy for yourself, which sounds a lot like just playing a video game. So why don't you just get the cheat codes for Diablo and play that? That way you get everything, or Baldur's Gate, and play that. The cheat codes are out there, they're available. You know, play Minecraft on creative mode. You know, just do that. Because saying that you find battlefield control like sleep spells unfair, well, it's unfair to the monsters, definitely. But it's unfair if the monsters do it to you, so we should get rid of it. Well, fine. They can't have it, you can't have it. You know, let's just eliminate any threat from the game whatsoever, okay? Let's just eliminate any moment where you might not feel you're the center of the tension and you're not at your most powerful. So let's just eliminate the game altogether. You can just sit at home, and once a day I'll text you telling you, hey, you're wonderful, you level, talk to you next week. That's $19.99. Would that work? Would that make you happy? I don't know. I mean, I could have just spent that 15 minutes talking about AI art or session 0, but no, because we got to have a new one. Except this isn't really a new one. It's player agency, which isn't a new one. And we know to a lot of these people on both sides of the fences, this goes for old school people just as much as it goes for new school people. Don't just think it's the Sparkle trolls are complaining. The old school players complain as much, if not more, than the Sparkle trolls. You know, and we all know which one of them complains the most. Fucking carrion eater. But yeah, so there's no answer. You don't want it in the game. You think it's unfair, remove it from the game. Just remove it. Nobody gets sleep spell. It's all just guys with swords. That's how the game started, right? Guys with swords going into a castle to kill a wizard that had a bard log, and then one guy wanted to be a wizard. And then another guy wanted to be sneaky, but it was all just fighters when it started, so let's just have it all be fighters. No magic users, no rogues, no clerics, just Conan the Barbarian. Fighters fighting giant kaiju with no actual risk, of course.